Hey everybody, this is Praveen. Today we are going to learn about one of the core concepts in CSS is a flexbox. Okay, let's get deep into it. First of all, what is flexbox? Flexbox is a single column layout. We can arrange items in either in a row wise or column wise. Let's take some example and see how it works. Okay, so let's take some kind of a boilerplate of HTML. So here we can add the some kind of div tag, div, and the class we can give it as a flex container. In the flex container, I will I will add some kind of styles. I added some kind of predefined styles to it, and I will explain the things as well. So here I declare some kind of variables. So body bg and flex bg and card bg. So it will apply to the relative things like for a body it will apply to the body bg. In the flex container it will apply the flex bg, and for a flex item each item we added the card bg. So here I give some kind of stylings to it to looks better and nicer one, and I will add the code pen to at the end of the video so you can able to check these things out as well. So let's add some kind of styles to here. Let's link those styles. So here we had in the styles and bg styles, and we will write some kind of styles in the another another file, the styles style.css. Okay. So here this is the flex container, and so how flexbox will work. So basically flexbox will having the, as we know, it's a single column layout, like either we can arrange the items in the row wise or a column wise. So how it works, like we had two things will be there, one is a main axis and another one is a cross axis. Let's demonstrate those things as well. Axis, main axis. So here the main axis in the sense, so it will be in the horizontal way. So for flexbox we had two things will be there. We had a direction will be there. So in the flex direction we can give either row or column. If we give the flex, by default the flex direction will be the row. So for row flex, for the flex direction row, the main axis will be the horizontal axis, and the cross axis will be the vertical axis. So we'll add this that one as well. So this is the cross axis. So how it works? Let's take some kind of items as well. So here we had a three items will be there, and we will try to style those things. So let's take flex container, and we will add the display as a flex. So if you add the display flex, what it does, it will align it directly into the, by default the direction will be the row. So it will align one after one. The card will be aligned one after one, and we'll give some kind of styles to each item, each card as well. We'll give it as a width as a 200 pixels. So this is how it will look if it had the, and let's take some kind of each item, we'll add some kind of heights to it. For suppose for the first one we give it as a 100 pixels, and the second one will give it as a 150 pixels, and the third one will give it as a, sorry, 200 pixels. So even though if you give the heights it won't affect, because we give it as a flex. Suppose let's assume if we remove this one, we are able to get first one will take the 100 pixels, and the second one will take the 150 pixels, and third one should be the 200 pixels. So we had two things as we said, the main axis and the cross axis. So we'll add justify content, and if we center the things, so items will be centers into the horizontal direction. Like let's reset the window once. So if you see here, So items will be aligned horizontally centered. Let's take the it as the starting position. By default, it will be start at the start. So we have to use the flex start. So it will start from the starting onwards. Or the same way we had a two another one will be there like a align items. So for align items also we can give it as center. So here if you see here, sorry, here we give the three. So flex item one, it had 100 pixels, so it will take the 100 pixels because by default the each item will have the self will be the stretch. That's why it will be appeared as a uh, full full height of the container. So suppose if you want the flex item, the first item should be it should be stretched to the all the way. So we have to use the align self. So it will be stretched all the way to the bottom of the container. Okay, and if you want to give some kind of spacing between the each element, we can use either margin to 20 pixels. It will be works, and instead of using the margin here, we can use another property called a gap. So if you want to use the gap as a 20 pixels, it will work as a same as the margin, but it will arrange some kind of spacing between each element, like either if you are having the spacing of the horizontal way or vertical way. If you want to change it to the direction, so we have to use the flex direction here to the by default it will be the row. We can use the column as well. So if you see here, if you apply the column, each item will be in a for a 2 and 3 it is in the center. Why? Because we added as a align items to the center. Okay, so for a flex direction column, how it will be like a the horizontal axis will be the cross axis and the vertical axis will be the main axis. It will act as a vice versa. And we had more properties will be there. Like if you want to use some kind of other properties, if you want to change the order of the items, like a so the third item should be uh, in the second position and the second item should be in the first position and the first item should be in the third position. We can use another property called as a order. So if you want to make it the order as a 3, if you see here item 1 will be goes away to the last. In the same way if you use the order to 1, so it will be stretched to here. Item 2 is in the 1, and if you want to make it as a z, let's take order to here. So item 3 is in the second position, and the item 2 is in the first position, and the item 1 is in the third position. Why? Because we give the order as well. Okay. So, and if you see here, if you are resizing the window, so all items will be is stretching. Why? Because it we give the width as a 200 pixels. Even though if you give the width as a 200 pixels, so if the width is available, then it will take the 200 pixels. If the width is not available, then it will be arrange the width. So if you don't want to do like that, so we can use the another property called a flex basis. Sorry, flex wrap. So we can use the wrap. Okay. So if you see here, even though if you are moving resizing the window, so item is going forward to the bottom of the screen. Why? Because so it won't fit on this one, so it will be goes to the bottom of the screen. And the same way we suppose let's take some kind of example, and we'll remove the orders. And one more thing is we have to make sure is we don't want to use the order for everything. Like if you want to arrange the items in a different order, so we don't want to use the order for everything. Like if it's really makes sense, then only we have to use. Why? Because screen readers won't allow the things like because so for HTML, it will be the item one will be the first one, and two will be the item two, and the third one will be the item three. So if you are doing some kind of accessibility and readability things like a tabbing on the screen, so first it will goes to here, and next it will goes to here, and next it will goes to here. So then user may confuse the things. Okay. for the namesake, we'll remove those things as well for now. Okay, so and here if you see here the flex item one is in a stretch mode, like a and other two is in the we make it as a center because here we use the justify content and align item center, right? If you want to make the third item to the top of the screen, we can use the same property align cell to the flex start. So it will be in the top of the screen. And we had one more property is called like a flex grow. So what it does is like a flex grow will grows and whatever the width available space is there, it will take. Let's take that one as an example for the two. Let's take it as a one. And if you add the flex, first we'll check with this one only. If you're resetting the window, if you see here, we have whatever the available space we had, it will take. If you remove this one, so we had this is the amount of the space we had the limited like whatever the space we had. So if you had the flex grow one, so it will take all the way after whatever the width we had. Like if you want to do the same thing for another card as well, we can use the flex grow as a one. So it will equally separate the width to the each item. Like we had two items will be there. In the two items, we had the flex grow as a one. So it will take suppose let's take an example. We had a available space of 100 pixels. Then item two will take the 50 pixels, and item three will take the another 50 pixels. And if you want to make it as a, the item two will take twice of the item three. Then we have to use the flex grow two. So it will take out whatever the available space we had. So it will be take out of the twice of the item 3. So suppose if we have the let's take an example of a 60 pixels. So in the 60 pixels, item 3 will take the only 20 pixels and the item 2 will take the 40 pixels. So combination of a 40 plus 20, we had the 60 pixels will be there. And we had another property there like a flex basis. So what it does is like a if you use the flex basis, so it will be equivalent to the width. So if you see here, this is not exactly twice of the item three. Why? Because we had the width of the each item. So that's why it won't take the whatever the exact width of the each item. So if you want to do that, we can use the flex basis as a zero and flex basis as a zero here. So if you see here, now it will take exact twice of the each item. Like here, if you had the 60 pixels is available, then it will take the 20 pixels and it will form the card, and if it will take the another 40 pixels and take the card of the item two. So this is mostly all about the Flexbox. Okay, hope you guys are understand about the Flexbox. So this is about the Flexbox, and I will share the QR code to the code pen so you can easily able to navigate into the code pen and you can see the whatever the code we had written here. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.